Shohei's one of those pitchers that his command will start to lock in as the game goes on.
And he got him. A little something extra on it.
Shohei will rear back and let it rip.
That's another one.
Challenged him and blew it by him. Struck him out.
Incredible pinpoint control. And he got him.
Shohei Ohtani is pitching tonight, and you do not want to miss it. And 2 starts ago against the Royals, Jake, this is why I brought you out here. I got a little something for you. I like to be dispassionate in my analysis, but occasionally you see something, you go, wait a second. There's something happening here where you see the physical world coming out and everything working, and you see an athlete who has reached mastery. That was Shohei Ohtani against the Royals 2 starts back. Body language, conviction, throwing downhill. Let's take a look now. Ohtani against the Royals. Jake, this is the 1 fastball strikeout he had all night. 13 strikeouts, 1 fastball strikeout. Everything else that Ohtani threw, 13 strikeouts, 5 were looking up, down, in, out, 3 different sliders, cutters, in, just pulling the chain on guys, dropping it in, inside and out. This was fantastic.
Look at, yeah, no, absolutely. Nothing missing in the middle of the plate, everything on the corners. Look at that.
Dropping it down, painting on both sides. Not only that, again, look at the body language again, the conviction, fully committed to all of his pitches. That was what was impressive. By the way, 32. That's a 3-2 pitch, by the way. That was a 3-2. 32 called strikes in this game. No one's had more. Adam Wainwright has matched him in 1 single game. You see how fired up he is when a guy's feeling it. Again, this is the physical world. This is the emotional world. Again, 32 called strikes. Previous high was 19. And yet, look at this now. Since June 9th, this is part of that 1 start against the Royals. He's slugging .654, and he's allowed 1 earned run in his last 4 starts for a .34 ERA, 26 plus, 36 strikeouts. I just want to point out briefly, even Babe Ruth did not do this, not at the same time. We have never seen this where it's been so great. So again, you and I watched that game separately,
That's right.
and we both had that feeling of, oh my goodness, like that 1 fastball, like, Tom Seaver will gas you, just mano a mano. That was not Ohtani. He was outsmarting people. What did you see?
Well, I see exactly that. It starts off that fastball, and you see that fastball was up and in, but the different breaking balls are just amazing to me. You're not able to see many guys get on top of a breaking ball and then also be able to get around it as well. You can start the tape here, and I'm going to show you. We see the dominance that he's had, and it's been unparalleled. Like you said, we've never seen anything quite like this to do on the hitter side of things, but just as a pitcher, the sheer dominance. This breaking ball that he was just throwing there, BK, is where it's at for me. This is a true 12-6 breaking ball, and look at that. That started above his belt and ended up down. That ball is down and away to a lefty, and then here's your 3-2 pitch in. None of these pitches missed. Now you talk about the fastball, him not using it. Oh, he thinks fastball's coming. No, it's a split down. Fastball's coming. This guy throws 100 miles an hour. When you have to commit to that, and then that's 90, 10 miles an hour off. And then here's the slider, watching him get around it. Well, not many people, BK, can have the same spin side to side as they do top to bottom. Look at that. Backdoor, just perfect. Here's what it would look like trying to hit the curveball, slider, and split. They all go different ways. It's just truly remarkable to watch him. Like you said, this guy throws 100 miles an hour. But yet the mastery of the couple different breaking balls and the location is what makes him so.
You had a way to describe it earlier. We were looking at it slightly different. You said when you're feeling sexy out there. I just saw a guy like in total command. By the way, there's the repertoire right there, and we got to see it too. I hadn't seen the axis changes on the pitch, so you saw the Royals almost confused as to we can see it coming, and yet it's doing different things by the time it gets to us.
I would have to go back and really dig, but I don't know anybody who's got as good of sliders in the game and as good of a 12-6 breaking ball, curveball.
I don't know if this aptly describes it. Again, they tried it, StatCast powered by Google Cloud. They tried to chart pitches and throw what he's throwing. I know Mike Matheny, after that Royals game, the Royals manager, said he's got 3 different sliders. He's got a cutter. He's got a curveball. He said he doesn't even have to hit 100 because he could just sit 97, 98 and throw all of it. Probably all these pitches have a different variation, right?
They do. And watching him pitch, I felt the same way. Like I said, you can call it. Remember I said earlier, StatCast. I would hate to chart this guy. Was that a slider? Was it a cutter? Was it a curveball?
Right.
When you got that many different looks. And again, throwing his fastball, four seam, more than anything else, those guys have to commit to when you can throw 100. But again, to me, Shohei looks committed, looks sexy.
Right.
And you can just see body language is everything. This guy feels as good as anybody in the league.
How long can you stay in that zone, right? Because that's what we're talking about. A guy who's reached the zone. How long as a pitcher can you kind of maintain that?
Well, I think health is the biggest thing. For me, how this guy stays healthy in taking the at-bats, running the bases, then doing all his side sessions and stuff like that. So I think it's how his body feels and what he's able to do.
I'll just say this. I didn't think it would be possible for him to excel at both at the same time. Because remember last year, he'd have a week where he was great pitching, week where he was great hitting. He's doing both at the same time. Is this possible to keep this going?
I don't know, BK. I would like to think not. But again, he is proving us wrong. I know what it's like to pitch at a high level and be the best in the league. And he is doing that. I can't imagine putting time and effort into hitting these pitchers and doing what he's doing.
Again, it's a
Hats
beautiful,
off.
we wanted to show it to you. It's a beautiful thing to watch.